Hello everybody, Voodoo 51292 here. Welcome back to Voodoo's Thoughts. It's been quite some time, a few months since I've made an episode. This is episode 11 of the series, and tonight I have my dander up, okay? I'm kind of upset, and definitely a hot button issue we're going to be talking about today. So I decided to make a new episode of the series to share my thoughts on something that happened today that actually my friend Dave let me know happened, and I checked it out and it kind of made me upset. So the first thing I'm going to do is up the brightness because it kind of looks like it's a little dark. That looks better. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened. So apparently on N4G.com, which is a online news site for gaming and that kind of stuff, had a story on today where apparently a bunch of PS3 fanboys went over to Treyarch's forum, the game developer Treyarch, who of course is behind the Black Ops series of games for Call of Duty and is coming out with Black Ops 2 later this year, and created a thread over there and basically went on and trolled the Treyarch forums, talking about how they were so disappointed in Treyarch for how they showed such favoritism toward Microsoft and the Xbox 360 in the Black Ops games, and were whining and complaining and all kinds of stuff. And then somebody over at Treyarch, I apologize because I don't know his exact position, but he's one of the guys who works over at Treyarch, went on the forum and answered some of them back. Some people thought that he was kind of rude with the way he was answering them, and they kind of had a back and forth over on the forums with these people, these PS3 fanboys, and N4G apparently reported it. Now, is that necessarily a big deal? Probably not, because this stuff I'm sure goes on every single day. They probably only made a news story out of it because it was Call of Duty. But when I saw it, it kind of upset me. Now, a couple things I want to say before I start this video so that people do not get the wrong idea. Don't start accusing me of things that I'm not doing in this video. Alright, first of all, I am by no means defending Treyarch, the Call of Duty series, the Activision series. I'm not making a video to come to their defense and all this other stuff. I don't really care who it is. In fact, I wish it was another game. I wish it was something else so that I could talk about this without people getting the wrong idea that I'm just sticking up for Call of Duty or whatever. So by no means am I defending them. They just happen to be the people in the spotlight of this particular incident. Also, in the point of this video, I'm not trying to pick specifically on PS3 fanboys. It's really a video meant for fanboys in general of anything. PS3, Xbox, PC, whatever. It just so happens that the focus of this is going to be about this specific issue, which did in fact involve PS3 fanboys, but I'm coming at this objectively. I'm not sticking up for anybody. I'm not going after anybody specifically. This is just the issue that happened, alright? So first of all, I am going to address this specific issue, and then I'm going to kind of take it out and talk about it in a broader sense. So first of all, what I have to say about this issue, alright? The fanboys of PS3 who went on the Treyarch forums, alright, completely went about this the wrong way. And the main thing that they're doing incorrectly, alright, they're going after the wrong people, the absolute wrong people. They're directing their anger in the wrong direction, alright? What you have to understand is that when a game developer makes a deal with a publisher, alright, to get this straight, there are companies who develop games, who their point is to make the game, do the design, develop the whole game. Then they enter a contract with a publisher, which is a company that basically puts their name on the game, on the product, puts it out on the market, puts it out on the shelves, and gets the name recognition because they're big-time publishers. Companies like EA are huge publishers, alright? For games like Dead Space, you have Visceral Games, who is a development studio who makes the game. published under EA, so it gets that big name recognition. They handle the sales and the marketing and all that kind of stuff. Same thing for Call of Duty. For the Modern Warfare line of games, you have Infinity Ward, and now I guess Sledgehammer, who developed the games. Then they pass it on to Activision as the publisher. Same thing on the Black Ops line, except that Treyarch develops the games and Activision publishes it. When you're in a contract with a publisher, right, you're basically more or less at their mercy when it comes to marketing the game and selling the game, alright? It's not Treyarch's call, the fact that Xbox gets this stuff first. The fact that Xbox gets the DLC, that's what I'm talking about, the DLC for Call of Duty, the most of the, or pretty much all the trailers, the hype and all that put out by Call of Duty is directed toward the Xbox 360. They don't really push the game at all on PS3. The fact that that all happens is Activision's call. Activision has a contract with Microsoft to offer this Call of Duty stuff exclusively on Xbox. This is not Treyarch's deal. All Treyarch does is make the game. They say, we make the game, then we give it to Activision, and it's Activision's say about distribution of the game, the marketing of the game, who's getting the game first, the exclusives, all that kind of stuff is handled by the publisher, Activision. So these fanboys are completely going at the wrong people here, alright? If they wanted to go after the people behind the game, they should be going after Activision. But in reality, in my opinion, they shouldn't be going after the makers or publishers of this game at all. They shouldn't be going after Activision, and they certainly shouldn't be going after Treyarch. The people who these people, that was redundant, I said people too many times. The company that these enraged fanboys need to be going after is Sony, okay? Because Sony is the one, for whatever reason, that did not get the exclusive contract or the exclusive rights to this content from Activision, alright? For whatever reason, I don't know the reason, but for some reason Microsoft stepped up to the plate. They either approached Activision first with this idea, they offered more money than Sony offered to Activision. For whatever the reason is, Microsoft got it done with Activision to get this exclusive stuff, whereas Sony did not. So if these people really want to direct their anger towards anyone, they should direct it at Sony and ask them why they didn't get an exclusive contract, or why they didn't get it so that the content was at least released at the same time for PS3 as it is for the Xbox 360, alright? So it's a major issue right now of channeling their frustrations in the wrong direction, alright? So that's what I have to say about this issue. They shouldn't be whining and complaining at all on forums, even though, like I said, it happens, I'm sure, every day on different people's forums, from PS3 fanboys, from Xbox fanboys. They just made a big deal out of it because it's Call of Duty, and, you know, therefore it's a big game, and so they make a big deal out of it, alright? When it's really not. This stuff happens all the time. But, that being said, I now want to take this further out in a general point of view, and I'm talking to all fanboys, PS3, Xbox, PC, whoever it may be, and addressing those people who do this kind of stuff, who go on these people's forums and troll and whine and complain. And listen, the guy who, I read the guy's comments who came back, and they didn't seem out of line to me at all. The guy was frustrated, he was annoyed, and his comments were basically saying, listen, this is why the lead guys, because he's one of the lead guys, don't go on these forums much and talk to you people, because it's almost impossible to do it, because you guys are just, you're uncooperative, you just say silly things, and all you want to do is attack, and there's no point in us coming on here and listening to you guys when you're not saying anything useful. All you're doing is trolling and attacking. That's more or less what he said. I see nothing wrong with the comments that he made. So, for the people saying he was rude and everything like that, I don't think so. I think he was telling them how he really feels. I think the people who are trolling his site are the rude ones. But anyway, these people, these fanboys, from all sides, what they don't understand is this simple fact. They need to learn something about this country, for one thing, the economy that this country runs off of, capitalism, and they need to learn about business, alright? So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of these topics so that people understand where I'm coming from with this. In this country, alright, in capitalism, this economy is completely based and driven off of competition. That's what capitalism is all about. It's about people competing against one another for the same market of people. The same group of people, but multiple companies all competing to go after and get members of this same group of people. That's what capitalism is all about. The people who do it well, the strongest people, they survive and come out on top. The other people fall off and don't make it, alright? So when you have major companies, be it video game developers or video game console makers such as Sony or Microsoft, or any business for that reason, going after one another for the same group of people, gamers in this instance, each side is going to have to do something in order to get an advantage over their competition, to offer something that the other person or other company can't offer, in an attempt to have something to pitch to this group of people to choose your company over the other guys. To be able to say, we offer this, this other guy or this other company cannot, therefore you should come to us, alright? And it's no different across the board in this kind of economy for any business. It all works the same. So, in this instance, it's no different with this exclusive content for Call of Duty, alright? Microsoft got in there and said, listen, we need to do something in an effort to get an advantage over Sony. So here's what we're going to do. We're gonna offer a big amount of money to Activision for them to give us the exclusive rights to get DLC early, to advertise mainly for our console, and to really promote the game for the Xbox 360, alright? That's what they did. They won in that battle of exclusive rights, alright? However, okay, there's many things that Xbox has exclusively, but there's many things that Sony has exclusively for their console that the Xbox does not. Look at this past E3, for example. You have Microsoft's press conference, which was horrible, and all they had to offer as far as games were concerned, exclusives that is, were more Halo and more Gears of War. The stuff we've been seeing since the launch of the Xbox 360, to which everybody, or most people at this point, are shoving their fingers down their throat and vomiting because they're so tired of seeing these games continue and continue and continue to push out the same repetitive titles, alright? And it's really only those two on Xbox now, considering that Fable has just completely gone in a different direction. They're on Kinect now and all that stuff. The only other stuff Microsoft had to offer was cross-platform games and some weird technology that nobody cares about, like Kinect stuff, which no one cares about anymore, or never really did, and Smart Glass, which no one's going to care about. Look at Sony. Sony has a press conference where they're debuting all of these exclusive games just for Sony, highlighted by, in my opinion, Beyond Two Souls, the new game coming out from the makers of Heavy Rain, also a PS3 exclusive from the developers Quantic Dream. They also showed off God of War Ascension. They showed off The Last of Us. All of these games that look amazing and terrific, but guess what? Only people with a PlayStation 3 are going to be able to play those games. You don't think that there's people who own just Xboxes who are sitting back saying, man, what the hell? Why can't Xbox play these great games? Man, these games look amazing, but I'm not going to be able to ever play them because all I have is an Xbox. And they get mad that they don't have the games. Now, is it right for them, for Xbox users, to go on Naughty Dog's forums or to go on Quantic Dream's forums and start trolling them, the developers of the game, asking and complaining about how they give special treatment to PlayStation and all? Absolutely not. That's not okay. What they need to do, if they're wondering, is go to Xbox and say, or Microsoft, and say, listen, why weren't you able to get these games released on Xbox 360? Why are these games only coming out on Sony? That's the people you need to go talk to, alright? But that's the point of capitalism. That's the point of our economy. It's the point of this country. You're always going to have competition. If you don't have competition, then our economy falls apart and you have a bunch of monopolies. And nobody likes monopolies. You want to have variety. And therefore, no one company can have it all. That's just the way it is. That's business. That's capitalism. As long as you have competing forces, each side is going to offer things that the other person can't. That's just going to be the way it is. And if you're a lucky individual, like I am, I admit that I'm lucky, you don't necessarily have to choose. For me, I have both. I have a PlayStation 3, I have an Xbox 360. So for me, it really makes no difference. Whoever comes out with the better version of the game, or if there's an exclusive game for either console, I'll just get it for the respective console. If one version of the game is better, I'll just get it for whatever console it's better for. For me, it's easy. But I understand that I'm in the minority. For most people, they only choose one console. And again, choice in your business is what drives this country. You have to make a decision, alright? You have to look at both sides and say, okay, this side, Sony's offering one thing, Microsoft's offering some exclusives over here, which one do I think is better? And you have to make a sacrifice. There's stuff that you're going to have to sacrifice. If you go to Microsoft, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of these exclusive games, like, like the games that I mentioned, and like the Uncharted series and all that. You're going to have to sacrifice that. If you go to Sony, you're going to have to sacrifice much DLC for many games comes out exclusively on Xbox first. You're going to miss out on an excellent online system, way better than Sony's, but you're going to have to make that choice if you're only picking one. That's the nature of business and capitalism, alright? Choice. And you have to do that with everything. You have to make that choice if you're going to fly on an airplane. You have to choose what airline you want. For computers now, you have to make a choice. Do you want to go with Windows? Do you want to go with a Mac? If you want to go with Windows, which one of the companies do you want to go with? You want to go with Toshiba? You want to go with HP? Dell? You have to make these kind of decisions, and all these companies are offering something that the other company isn't doing. And to sit there and whine about it and complain about it, especially to the wrong people, isn't going to solve anything. Now, I understand that PlayStation 3 exclusive users would be frustrated and have an issue with the fact that, yes, Call of Duty is mainly on Xbox. But first of all, what I want to know is what rock did these people crawl out of, because this is the way it's been with Call of Duty. I know personally, at least since Black Ops. I don't know if it went before that to Modern Warfare 2, because I wasn't playing games in that era, but since Black Ops, the past two games, it's been the same. The DLC has come out first on Xbox 360, then PlayStation 3. They've been advertised for the Xbox over the PlayStation 3 for both Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 3. So why these people thought it was going to be any different for Black Ops 2, I really have no idea. But again, I can understand their concerns. Their concerns are legitimate. Why aren't we getting the same treatment that Xbox is getting? Take it to the right people. Take it to Sony. They're the ones. And listen, Sony may have a very good explanation and say, well, listen, we only have a certain amount of money, okay? And for us, it was a choice. You know, do we spend a bunch of our money to send to game developers like Naughty Dog and Quantic Dream and send all of our money there and say, listen, make us great exclusive titles, make us great exclusive games? Or do we take that money and allot it to Activision and say, give us early DLC, give us the exclusive DLC? And they may come to you and have a choice and say, listen, I mean, we only have so much money to go around, so would you rather us get early access to DLC for Call of Duty, or would you rather us get these great exclusive games coming out for you? And a lot of them would probably say the games. You know, so people need to take a step back and understand. The people who are complaining about this, specifically this situation, have like 3 options to choose from. And they can do any of these options, any combination, or all 3. They can, 1, complain to the right people, go to Sony, as I said, and talk to them about why they don't have their content at the same time as Microsoft. 2, they can simply not buy Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the PlayStation 3 if they don't like it, if they're not happy with the way things are going. Don't buy the game on PlayStation 3, don't support it. Or option number 3, suck it up and save up some money, go and buy an Xbox 360. It's a lot cheaper now than a PlayStation 3. buy an Xbox 360 and buy a copy of Black Ops 2 on Xbox 360, therefore your problems go away. Now, I know a lot of people might not have the option to go out and spend that kind of money on another console, so take the other two routes, okay? If you want to do something about it, if you want answers, talk to the right people, or simply just don't buy the game if you aren't happy with it. But that's the way things are, and it may not be fair, but business isn't fair. Capitalism isn't fair. That's kind of ingrained into the economic system. It isn't fair. And so it sucks. There's no question about it, it sucks. And I've made many videos in the past where I've been raging and ranting, but it's always been about Sony. Every time that I've made a rage or a rant video about content not being available on the PlayStation 3, content always being out early on Xbox 360, this was before I owned a 360, and I was a PS3 exclusive user. When I was upset about the online issues that Sony was having with when their network crashed, all that other stuff, every time that I've made a rant video, it's been directed towards Sony, because they're the ones that are responsible for this, alright, for whatever reason. They may have a legitimate reason, like I previously mentioned, but they are still responsible. And it sucks, it's not fair, but you have to think about the fact that Sony has a lot of exclusives that Xbox does not. And there's plenty of Xbox users who are jealous and would probably give up their early DLC for Call of Duty and have it come out a month later than PS3 in order to play games like Beyond Two Souls and The Last of Us. I'm sure that if you ask a lot of Xbox users who weren't obviously completely crazy fanboys and who actually were logical, you know, and would get off their high horse and admit that, yeah, they'd love to play those games, but they can't because they own an Xbox, they'd probably be willing to give up that early DLC to play those great games, but they can't do it. So you have to look at both sides of the coin. All I can say is to all fanboys that going on game developers' websites and trolling them specifically about the fact that they might be giving one console exclusives or might be treating one version of the game with more priority isn't the case, because 9 times out of 10, sorry, a bug just flew in my face, 9 times out of 10, it's not the developers that have any call whatsoever as far as who gets the exclusives, who gets the better treatment. Most of the time, that's going to fall to the publishers of the game, and the developers can't do anything about it. They just make the game, hand it to the publisher, who then decides how to market the game and such. And unfortunately, that's just the bottom line. Both sides have things to offer. Even PC. I haven't been talking about PC much, but there's some. I know PC gamers get screwed a lot nowadays, but there's some stuff that PC users get over us that, you know, we don't have. PC usually always has much better graphics. PC games are cheaper. They're usually $50, whereas ours is $60. And sometimes they get games earlier than we do. They got The Witcher 2 like a full year before Xbox 360 got it. And PC has exclusive games 3, like Diablo, or exclusive games 2, I should say. Diablo 3 was a very big release this year, but it was PC exclusive. So, you know, and then again, Battlefield 3 last year. PC got huge perks for Battlefield 3 that console users didn't get, like 64-player multiplayer, way better graphics, that sort of thing. So there's pros and cons to all of it. You just have to make your decision and understand. But going about it in this way is completely the wrong way. It's not going to solve anything. Take your concerns to the right people, or just simply accept the fact that you can't have it all. You have to make a decision. If you're lucky enough, get both. If you're not, make your decision and live with it. Be happy with it. There's nothing wrong with having concerns and being upset, but make sure that you take them to the right people, alright? So, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. My rant is done. I'm going to step down off my soapbox. But I just wanted to get that out there because this incident, even though I know it happens all the time, now that they're making an article about it, I feel the need to speak on it. It is a hot button issue, in my opinion. That's what this series, Voodoo's Thoughts, has always been about. Is talking about hot button issues, giving my honest opinion, being very open and honest with you guys, and maybe even starting a little controversy. I don't know, but I just want to give you guys my honest opinion from an objective point of view looking at this. But this is a great issue for people to discuss and talk about, so please be willing to leave comments below. talking about this issue, letting me know what you think. Obviously, please try to keep it mature and appropriate, and don't do what I just scolded people for doing, and don't come on and troll and go crazy. Just be mature about it. But I would love to hear what you guys think about this issue. I'm sure many people are very opinionated about this, and so please feel free to leave comments below. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening to me go on a little bit about this, but I enjoyed talking about it. So thanks guys again, and hopefully you leave some interesting feedback and continue the conversation. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in future episodes of Voodoo's Thoughts as interesting issues arise and I formulate some opinions. So I will see you guys then. Till then, have a good night.